What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the I'm Not Lucky, I Am Blessed podcast, episode number 12. And today, as usual, I have four special guests in the building with me, okay? We had to go all the way to... we went all the way to Nigeria to bring my brother Rufus to join us on today's episode. AB, yep. Rufus or AB?
AB. I prefer AB.
You prefer AB?
Yeah.
Okay.
I prefer my native name.
Okay. So yeah, his native name is AB, English name Rufus, but he prefers to be called AB. So with that said, if this is your first time listening to this episode, please feel free to subscribe, like, and share with your friends. That would help us grow and reach out to more audience. Tenny is on my side, Tina, and the other side. So guys, as usual, today we'll be talking about SARS. I've dedicated all this episode to just addressing the issue that is going on in my country, and why I'm doing this is because I feel like enough is not being said. Like they're still hiding things and blaming the masses for what's going on. If you go online and you read stuff, like if you read anything about this whole ENDSARS protest, most of them are just blaming the masses for protesting for their rights and not talking about the government. So today, as usual, we're going to talk some more about the government and then what caused the ENDSARS protest. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So without wasting any time, can you guys introduce yourself once again?
So like you said, AB Kelbuna.
Oh, I'm telling.
And hi, I'm Augustina.
Okay, so for now we'll be using two mics, so we'll just be passing the microphone and but by the grace of God we'll get more mics. Okay, so last week we were talking about SARS, how SARS started before something happened and then the podcast ended. Honestly. But we want to apologize for those of you that were listening last week, for what happened. Today we'll continue from where we stopped last week, okay? So do we have any idea on what caused or what was the reason why this 2020 ENDSARS movement started? Because before now, it started in 2017 when after a video went online, and that video basically was just SARS officials maltreating someone. I think they even killed. There are several videos actually that started this movement. There were ones where they killed a man in his brought him out of his car, killed him, and then got in his car and drove away. And several other videos that are online, and that kind of like started the ENDSARS movement. But this 2020 was just a whole different level. So I don't know. Does anybody have an idea?
So just a quick question, do they have license to kill? You said they killed a man and the video went viral.
Yeah.
Is it like they have license to kill people and they don't have to be accountable?
That's a very good question, because in 2017, Buhari signed the Anti-Torture Act that said that no one has the right to kill anybody. 2017, I read it a few days ago, that says whoever that kills, police, human being, even not even just killing, torture, beat someone with a gun head, rape, extortion. Like actually, it's an act. And I was surprised that this thing is there, but there's no one to enforce it. Police are still killing, so they don't even have a right to kill. Answer the question.
Yeah.
Does anybody want to say anything?
So as of this year, I think the one thing that instigated the whole protest was what happened in Delta State. A young man was harassed and then eventually killed. I think so, and then not just that. Before this year began, I think a series of those events had been occurring in different parts of Nigeria. You just see videos of people being shot at, like literally it was just weird, like people being shot at, something that could have caused for someone to have gotten a parking ticket. Oh, sorry, we don't have parking tickets in Nigeria, but maybe like even if it was jail term or something that would have caused someone to just go to the station, they would lose their life for that. Just because someone didn't want to bribe a police officer, the person could lose their life. So I remember I saw a series of videos from like last year just coming all the way till this year. I remember that there was an incident in Delta State, Nigeria, that just made the whole thing just go out of the roof. But really, it was just a series of, and they were just happening like simultaneously. They were just going on like that. Series of them, just going on. Police brutality. But then the one in Delta State just pulled everybody out of the roof.
Yeah. So for me, I just like what Tenny said. So even I feel like 2020 is just a catalyst, you know. It's kind of like a time bomb that was waiting to explode.
Yeah.
It's kind of like so many crazy things happened this year. You know, coronavirus. You know, a lot of people died, and even a lot of events have happened that people are like, we can't wait for this year to be over. So one thing about SARS is like for me, I think they're operating on a military policing style, you understand?
Yeah.
So the reason why SARS was established, I think it's already been existing before I was born.
Yeah.
But over time, I think the atrocities of the police officers began to increase.
Yeah.
Like as a result of being unable to control the violent crimes in urban and suburban areas in Nigeria. Instead, the reason they were established is to control those crimes, because Nigeria was experiencing, just like every other seriously populated country, they say Brazil, we face crimes like violent crimes a lot. So SARS was established to manage situations like that. But over time, I think they were unable to control the situation, and I think the frustration is something that led to them extorting people, and and another issue too is the accountability is not there. You know, when you kill somebody and you boldly tell the person to their face, I'll kill you, and nothing will happen. Nobody will say anything. You're not answerable to anybody.
Yeah.
Understand? So that's, I think, something that people are really we're worried about. How can you just tell somebody you killed them, and nobody will say anything?
Yeah.
Understand? You can criminalize somebody for holding a laptop, maybe putting on a fancy clothes. You understand?
Yeah.
Some kind of crazy thing. So I think 2020 was just something that had to everybody was just waiting to express their displeasure over all these happenings in Nigeria. We know there are a lot of crazy things happen, like bad governance.
Yeah.
We know those things, to some people they will never change, but some of us are still hopeful.
Yeah.
They're still hopeful that we have a better tomorrow and stuff. We have issue of power, electricity. They come in series of promises. We have issues of extortion by police on the road and stuff. But the issue of SARS was just a catalyst for people to express their anger over the whole situation, everything that is going on in Nigeria.
Yeah. So to a point, we're grateful for SARS because it's starting a movement that that has long been, and SARS was the icing on the cake.
Exactly.
Yeah, that just blew everything.
And you said, what I want to say is in Nigeria there's been this implication in the country from every side, and even with this whole pandemic and the way the government was even going about it, and then with the whole anger of not being able to go out there to work, being stuck in your own hunger and everything, SARS is not coming to harass you again, and it's just double it's just we can't take it anymore. There are other situations going on in the country, rape and every other things. Nothing is safe. You could see how badly the country is being managed.
Yeah.
And I feel this year the youth could not, we're fed up.
Yeah.
They just speak out. And they spoke out, and not just against the police, but mainly against the government in the country.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's coronavirus is killing us. Economy is killing us. Even as SARS wants to kill us. So it's everything is killing.
It's against us.
It's against us, so we might as well
just fight
and die for it. That's honestly, some people weren't even worried about dying, because at the end of the day, we'll still die. You get that? That's how reckless Nigeria is, So I'm telling you this, right?
And then one other thing that I think we should put into consideration is the fact that at the end of the day, Nigeria is I think 65% of its population is like youths, and so even if the elderly people were never going to get tired of the kind of harassment or the kind of government that we were led under, the youth were going to blow up at some point. And I think 2020 was the point where they had to speak up. Because, like, literally, some people are now at the point where they're like, you don't even have to get to 30 to die. You don't, like, literally, it's like death is no longer an issue.
Yeah.
If you're a strong, in fact, if you're a strong person in Nigeria, it means you've seen so many people die, or you yourself were close to a death experience, or like literally all the terrible things are now like normal. So I think, and you just have to be human to get to a point where you're like, I'm done with this kind of lifestyle. And while people are leaving the country, going through deserts and struggling to escape the country, there are some people that they don't have the energy to escape, and they don't have the energy to try to find out how to make the government with good English or speaking exotic English or going to Aso Rock, and they don't have this thing. They've heard that you could speak up through a protest, and so they're going through that route.
Yeah.
And so I think that was what just happened this year. There's no stopping it even now, because though people have died, there's still strategies going on how to like get back on top and figure out how this thing can really roll and bring us success.
Thank you very much. So another thing I want to add is like what she said is really important, because Nigeria's population is mostly like youths, understand? And this is like a digital age. We have like the internet everywhere, and we're being ruled by people who like seem to be like analog age. I like to call it the cola nut cabinet. These people like it's like old style, like old school kind of mentality. So even imagine this government even trying to shut down the internet. Understand? Those people don't really they think people don't even really have freedom, understand? Like that kind of thing. So and this is like a generation they can't really play with, understand? So people are tired of writing articles, understand? Tired of like posting on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. We're tired of hashtag, people like I was even surprised, like that Nigerians could come out in that large number.
I've never seen
that kind of thing. It's like a revolution, and I'm happy at some point that something like that happened.
I was more surprised because of the whole surrounding protests at this period. With the whole virus thing, people are scared of dying. I just find Nigeria is a true definition of there are so many things that could kill a man. Because in Nigeria, there's so many things, so many things that could kill you. Even the roads are so bad, accidents could kill you. Like you could go to school, courses to kill you for no reason.
And then you're protesting
and it's overwhelming. It's
Yeah,
overwhelming what could kill you in Nigeria. Like you kind of think they should have that movie.
Well, this. Honestly, why like the beautiful thing about this is so many things that happened this year, but this was the year that after what happened, I became so proud of Nigeria. Yeah, right? Like I have so much love for Nigeria right now, because you see, this has never happened before. We're the kind of country that we endure things. You get it, right? We have endured. See, we have endured. Like endured to the point where our human rights have been taken away completely from us. Police is killing people. But no one to enforce it. It's not like it's not in the law. It's in the law. It's in the law. Like 2017, it was written like if you do this, you beat someone, you rape someone, you torture someone, you're supposed to be arrested. Like sent to prison. Not even just get arrested, sent to prison for it. But look at our country. It's happening. And instead of them even trying to, let's enforce it, they're even hiding it. Claiming it's Photoshop. So like this brings to my next question, like how, what can be done to enforce this law? Like do we have an idea? Because this law is already there.
Sure.
Like every other country. Nigeria is like every other country. We have human rights, we have everything, but they are not being enforced. So like, please, how can we? What level what has to be done? Do people have to die or for these laws to be enforced so we can enjoy our rights? That's the question I want to ask, and I don't know if anybody can answer them, but whatever answer you have, just drop it.
So if I just want to add something.
Yeah.
So, like you said, we have laws in Nigeria, like any other country.
Yeah.
But some of the laws are not like taken seriously. One big problem about SARS in Nigeria is, like I said, accountability.
Yeah.
Somebody can just, why should you be like turning off your AC if you're driving a nice car, just because you're going to be stopped by an angry police officer that has been standing under the sun for like so many hours.
Yeah. And then
So they will not use their frustration to just waste somebody's life. Understand?
Yeah.
You have to turn off your AC and just play along and just pray that you
you make it.
Yeah, you make it. You understand? So I think the police department, there is this low accountability, in terms of the police leadership. You understand? And those are some of the things that people have already come up with like agenda, solutions.
Yeah.
This is like demands. So I think the biggest problem, which is why the SARS movement itself is like being channeled to like a bigger issue, like a bigger revolution of like people protesting about bad government.
Bad government.
Can you imagine like people like even hampering to like loot warehouses where like they've kept like palliatives that were meant for the people like for years.
Yeah.
And this government could even do something like that. Understand? So the anger is so much that we're starting to like discover how evil and how these leaders are even the threats to our democracy. Understand? Like how can you keep like palliatives that are meant for people? I've seen the videos like on social media, and sometimes I wonder like I don't know. Honestly, it's heartbreaking. You understand? I don't know if you saw those videos.
Yeah, I want you to actually talk some more because people might not even understand what that is.
So
what that video like literally.
So there's so many videos all over Nigeria. People going to like warehouses to loot like palliatives and like all these food stores, rice, gari
that are for them.
That were kept. They're supposed to be like distributed to the people, especially the vulnerable, like low income, wherever people. But for some reason, they've been hoarded by politicians.
Yep.
Some of them claim that they were going to distribute this food during their birthday.
Hey! Our politicians are liars.
Imagine that kind
of
thing.
thing.
And they piled off food somewhere. People are hungry.
Yeah.
So like, since one of my friends was saying like, this protest is different because it's not like protest by rich people, like or some rich kids. Like, hungry people are coming out because, all the food and everything that they've not seen and, it's not coming to realize a lot of things out of this protest and stuff. Yeah, so, like I said, like, people are asking for total reform of Nigerian police. That's the only thing that can save Nigeria. Like, so, because in the past, like, I think 2013 or so, they came up with different version of this SARS movement when like videos were flying around and people were complaining about SARS like extorting people and like abusing their positions. So but it didn't work out. Like it's just a face-saving gesture by the government. When you tell them to solve a problem, they come up with something something which is the same appetite but just a different name under it. Listen, these people will still come do the same thing and the government will do nothing about it. So that's why like the whole thing is like more complicated because when somebody is not ready to make any difference, things happen out of control like that. Yeah.
For me, it's not even SARS is one thing, but the major problem I will always keep saying it. Nigeria is a great country, but our government is fucked up. Nigeria is a great country, but our government like. The people ruling us, I will say this without even I will say this loud and clear. The people ruling us are very evil, very on the whole, devil trying to rule us. If you see the video that came out on social media, I wouldn't even call that looting. You get right?
Possess your
possession. This is yours. Like literally, they are food that were made. These are food stuff that were supposed to be given to people that don't have.
Crazy.
But instead, to tell you how wicked these people are, they put this food in a warehouse and stored it away for years. People are hungry on the street, dying. They don't even care. After this whole thing now, it will get spoiled and then they trash it. or it will even be in that warehouse forever. Nobody knows.
Oh, there was this video I saw that literally they're selling those things.
Hey.
Like some people that
Yeah,
have
yeah.
access to those warehouses actually
Are
sold
going
those things
to
to like
market people,
retailers,
yeah.
and then retailers are reselling them to the consumer because
Consumer.
right, because one person shared a video of this Indomie box he had in his house. And then he saw like this big tag. So it was like, oh, what's this? Let me take it off. And then he took it up and he saw COVID package, COVID-19 package, don't sell.
Oh.
And he already bought it. He was already eating it. And they used another old design to close the old symbol. So you don't know what you're buying it. You're buying your own stuff that was supposed to be given to you.
Wow. You see, like, you guys see the whole level of wickedness that I'm talking about. Free things that the people are supposed to eat. Like, sometimes I get called from even my family and say, like, telling me there's no food in the country, there's no this in the country. Meanwhile, all these things, like Nigeria can feed everybody there. Nigeria has enough resources to feed everybody during this COVID. But unfortunately, even the smallest thing is not reaching the hands of the people because it's being held back by selfish and greedy politicians that just want to. They're not keeping for themselves. They're just keeping for keeping sake. If it's even something you're keeping for yourself and you're eating it, we understand. But Indomie, you guys don't eat Indomie. You shouldn't, like, you guys are so wealthy that your children don't even need Indomie to eat. Why don't you give this Indomie? Now, people are going to sell. Man, God will punish people, Shara. Let me give the mic to someone before I talk, which I'm supposed to talk. But they pay me. They pay me, man. They pay me.
So, what I wanted to say was, you said how can we implement all these laws that we already have. The thing is, the leaders that we have, they don't know what democracy is. They don't understand it. They've heard the theory before. And then they're just playing, you know how like you could go for a job interview and then they ask you, do you know the job? And you say yes. And then you have no clue what the job is, but you're hoping to learn as you go. So that is what is happening with Nigerian leaders. They are hoping to learn as they go. However,
they're not hoping to learn.
They're hoping to learn in the sense that they're hoping to learn what to keep them in the seat. You do what you think will keep you in the seat, and it's not really to serve the people that you're called to serve. It's really to serve international bodies. Now, in our own country, we know that we have so many resources, which means we have so much of international eyes to us. Now, if we have leaders that are not concerned about us, but then they're concerned about the international bodies, then we as citizens, if we cannot get attention to our leaders, it's best to try and get attention from international people. Now, I know that many people say that, oh, this is not a good idea, but the truth is, if you're not able to build anything from the inside, you have to call attention from the outside. 100%. And like, we know that based on politics, things will always get mixed up in the way, and people that want their own interest would want their own interest. What that means basically for Nigerians and youths is that if it is that bad, if you want it that bad, it doesn't matter who is standing on your way, what leaders are standing on your way. If we call on all the so-called, we claim, or the world claims, that there is a cosmopolitan view. And so we have the World Health Organization, we have the UN, we have the International Criminal Court. If all these organizations that are claiming that they have the best interest of humanity at heart would not respond to Nigeria right now, then it means the entire universe, not just Nigeria, is at fault. The entire universe is bad. We have a whole system that needs work. And then that would mean that we cannot help ourselves. It would mean that we have to go to God. Again, I am saying that as Nigerians, we need to call international bodies. But while we're looking at these international bodies, we also need to look at God himself. Because like at the end of the day, every single person is human. And then we're all looking for ways to like get our own interests. Like last time I said, we are all greedy. So even if we try to get all these international bodies into this whole scenario, they also want what they want. What can we get from this whole situation? And many times they're not going to look for our own interests. At the end of the day, it means Nigerians are stuck to Nigerians. And if we are stuck with ourselves claiming that, oh, just because international people will not help us, and have our interests at heart, then we wouldn't need them. No, we need them. We need to pursue whoever that we need to pursue, whoever you can write any letter to. The ICC is still there. I know that by going to the ICC now, claiming to persecute our president or other leaders by persecuting them in the ICC, there are so many ramifications from that. Like, we're going to have some backlash into our own government and all of that. But at the end of the day, the truth is, all these leaders that we have, they don't know the job. They don't know what democracy is. They are trying to learn on the job only to prove a point. But while they're doing that, lives are being lost. So we cannot help ourselves by going to a Nigerian court or a Nigerian what or all of the system is already crashed. It is done. There's no system in Nigeria to work with. We only have international bodies to work with.
Yeah.
The UN has promised us that so there's a 2030 so it's called the SDGs. I'm trying to remember what the full name is. But then in that goal there are about 17 goals, and one of the goals is really for unity. In that goal, as a youth,
You mean Millennium Development Goal?
So it's Sustainable Development Goal. Thank you for reminding me. So, like, it's up until 2030. Every single person, whoever you are supposed to do something that will pursue those goals. And as a young person, it's just to go through that list, what you're suffering. The last protest thing that we went for, a guy said something: if you want Nigeria to change, you have to do the dream that you have for Nigeria, do what you have. And the UN has already given us a list of things, and all of the countries, according to them, all of the countries that are ratified in the law or whatever, they all signed this deal. So Nigeria is part of the UN, which means they also signed that we are all pursuing these 17 goals. If you're a young person, go to the UN website, go and look for those 17 goals, find what you can pursue concerning Nigeria and pursue it. Look for international bodies that you could work with. Whatever you can influence, whatever you can serve, whatever you can do that. But you see, anything with Nigerian economy or Nigerian forces or whatever, those people don't have any plan to help anybody in Nigeria. And as far as they're still in city, we're not going to get any form of help that we need. But if we're able to come out of the country, not like physically leave the country, if we're able to come out with our ideas, we're able to try to get attention from wherever we can get attention from, write the articles that we need to write, letters that we need to write, and write all of those things and get the attentions that we need, knowing fully well that these people too will not have our best. They will probably not have our best interests at heart, but the truth is they will also do something for their own best interests. So let us work in that area and find a way to like move Nigeria forward. And that's all I have to say.
Well, what I have to say regarding the question you asked, I'd say
Nice conversation. Nice point. Sorry.
Yeah, I would say in Nigeria, unlike this country, I feel like you know your rights in every level. Like, it's being written on a paper, like with your job, with everything. Even the police recite it to you. Your job tells you, like, even everything you do, you know your rights. So that's one thing in Nigeria, transparency. So most times the government make these rules and regulations in Nigeria, like there's so many rules that even the citizens are not aware of. And so another thing I feel like we should start in Nigeria is make these things public. More like put a billboard about your rights.
For real.
Put it. Make jobs start educating their employees, like these are your rights. Even we could be at fault to you, you could sue us. These are your rights. Even though, let's forget about all the manipulation that will go around if they try to eventually do that. But let's just say, like, put those things out there. Let we know our right. A lot of people that went for the protest, they don't really know their full potential. They don't really know all their rights. But they just know they don't want to die. And they want to speak out. So eventually, it's more like if you make this thing a public, like if you make it like being taught well in school, your job places, the police recite it for you, even if the police don't recite, put it in a very place where everybody can see it. I bet you Nigerians, if the police cannot stand for you, another Nigerian will stand with you. And then we will fight this thing. So it's more like the forces have failed us, the government has failed us, but we still have ourselves.
True.
But then, how do we have ourselves? We need to be educated. We need to know what we are, what we're standing for.
Yeah.
At the very last course, know that what you're doing is right. Not like these people lording over us like for so long, and then we don't even know like, well, if we like, we don't even know like, oh, if we do this, is it right or is it wrong? Like all this kind of things. So I think that we need to make this whole law and constitution or whatever they call it in Nigeria public again.
Yeah.
Make it public. Like even me, I would say I did my secondary school in Nigeria. I don't feel like I was taught enough the constitution of Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like the way they teach it here in America.
Yeah.
I don't think I was taught enough. So I know like yes, they should teach these people, and yes, the children are growing again and they are the leaders of tomorrow. Teach them. Because they are still going to become like we who don't have all the answers, all the resources that we even know what we should know as a citizens of those of the country. So yeah, I feel like we start from knowing where we stand, what our rights is in the country, right?
Yeah.
If we know those things then, and then from there we can pick ourselves. And another thing again is you talk about executing the laws, the laws in the country. Yeah, it's true because what Tenny said, these people, they are not democratic. Even though they pretend it's like, I don't know, but they are not in every sense, shape, way, everything, not even mentality. Because they were all militaries before, like all of them, they were all from the military, and all of them, they've served one way or another, they've left coup, they've joined coup, they've done those things before, and then coming back to come and reform themselves. Who are they deceiving? At 80, they'll come and reform themselves. Like reform from all military regimes, come and reform to I know. It's normal, okay? They could, like, there were pictures of Adam go and assassinate that fishing with local men just so you can go there, feeding kids, sleeping on man, all those things there. Those things are just for the moment. Yep. They enter the position. Even right now, they're not learning nothing. They hire the people to actually make their face look good. They are still moving as a military people. They are learning nothing. They don't even plan to learn. They don't plan to change anything. And another thing about the Northerners is that they are conservative. More like they don't. They're very constrained. They cannot change. They believe in their culture, their norms, and everything Allah taught them. That's what they believe. So they died here. So there's no way. So even when you see the things going on in the Western world, they could see them, but they will not accept them
at all.
They will not accept them.
That's a very stubborn.
Exactly, they will not accept them. So that's why you see all this social media, all this thing. And another thing again, why they stopped the protest. I think there was a thing that if Nigerians had been allowed to protest for like how many days, UN was supposed to come and when international body was supposed to come into Nigeria. So that was why they disrupted the whole protest. They disrupted the whole protest because they didn't want any international body to come and go. And that was why they were manipulating every other thing. So don't think these people, they don't know what they are doing. They definitely know what they are doing. So the best way right now to go is we should not forget this year. We should not forget the people that died. Like me personally, I will not forget those people that died. And I'm holding all of them in seat accountable for what they did to those people. They were peaceful. You killed them. You killed them. So those bloods are in your head. And
something big blue.
Yeah, and then I just like right now we should not be relaxed. Right now is the time for us to start our own political party. Now is the time for us to get our PVC. Now is the time to root out all the bad people in the what are they calling their voters this thing?
Political party.
No, where they vote. INEC. Now is the time because I heard Buhari reappointed one of the previous INEC chairman again to come back to position, and then of course and honestly speaking, it feels like Buhari had planned to rule more. If you cannot rule it, you put somebody that will figure for him. So that's his plan. So now right now we may have leave the streets and not riots or protests as we want, but then we need to be working on the inside.
That's what we're doing.
Right.
Honestly, that's.
And it starts from we forming our political, getting our destiny to vote. Let's forget about the manipulations that they will do and go and make cows vote in the Northerners and act like it's human beings that are voting. Because those numbers are outrageous. Have you seen Northerners vote before?
I know.
Outrageous, even more than the other four. Like, where are those numbers coming from? Yeah, it's a joke. But yeah, I feel like if we start asking questions, we start being accountable. Because right now, even though it may look like we didn't get anything from this protest, we have woken up. Like we are awake now, and we have shown the government that we are still alive. We're not the lazy you called us. We have potential. If you don't sit your ass down, we will check you out. That kind of thing. So we have made that remark. Even though they look like they are not shaking, they don't even care. What we did was nothing to them. They will not forget this year. They will not forget what happened. They will not. So we have to start re-strategizing again. We have to start. And now is not too far. We have to start now. And then start calling out all the bad leaders and call them out if you know them. If it's your boss, if it's school, if it's everything. Forget the father. You know what? If it's your father, forget the father. First of all, the country will not persecute them or anything. But call them out and leave them on social media or you invite them in the future. But a lot of those people there, after their bad deed, them now come and for president. We don't know their former history or what they have done. So call them out, put them there, and then when they want to rule again, we will come back, we surface again, and then we'll know who you really are. So time. It will cut up with that.
See, Clara, before I turn the microphone, just to add to what Tina said, she said something about our rights. How did you know that in every constitution they actually write who's supposed to, that they should notify the people about this right, they should teach this right, like they should inform the public about this right. But it's funny that every right that they sign there, immediately they sign it, they just quietly
hidden treasure.
And like the hidden treasure. If you don't go and look for it, you won't find it.
I know.
Like I was literally shocked to see some things. Oh, like yesterday I was going through some things, I was like, are you serious? We have all this right? Like, it was so painful that my co-worker was like, what's wrong with you? I was like, my country, what is happening right now? I'm seeing everything on the right, like that. We are citizens in Nigeria. We have this right. We have all this right. We're enabled to every single right that anybody in America is having. So, like, honestly, like, before there should be an episode where we just come and read right for people.
Yeah, I think that's
for real. Like people need to know their right.
I think we should look for a way to bring it out.
Bring it out on social media.
Let it be a thing. Like the hashtag, your rights in Nigeria.
It's like an anthem. When you wake up in the morning, your affirmations are your right. You speak your right. As a Nigerian, I deserve to live. I deserve to protest. I deserve to I have right to good education, good school, good life, good everything. Because once people start knowing that they have right to this, the government, but what you don't know, and when you get it, it's a privilege to you.
Right.
You are happy for it.
You don't even know your rights. It's a privilege to the government.
Right.
You understand, right? Let me pass before you forget.
Oh yeah, so I wanted to say that I wanted to come from where Tina was coming from.
Yeah.
Like we should just go into a silent protest. Like you might not be on the streets doing and calling people and all of that, but just go into your room. See, I don't know how other people are feeling, but me, the kind of anger that is in me is that kind of anger that you want to do what you can do to make sure that you're no longer where you are today. And this is not just to say that you want to make money or anything. This is not to say that you need to make sure. So there's this book that I have. I've not read so much into the book, but then one thing that I've learned in that book is that if you're not given a table on the seat, and that's the one thing that Nigerian presidents and leaders and officials or senators, they're not trying to give us any table on the seat. If you're not given a table on the seat, or if you're not given a seat to the table, bring your own table, bring your own seat. And that is the thing that Nigerian youths must do now. This is the start of it. We need to create our table and our seats. And we need to make sure that that table is big enough for 65% of Nigeria. Big enough for 65% of Nigeria, as well as those Jared that want to come around, those old people that want to say they are used to, I carry them on top of that same table. Yep. But the thing is, we're not going to say, oh, we protested, we're shouting and chanting and saying, okay, this is it, we need Nigeria, just by doing that. That's not going to work. Every single person, wherever you are, whoever you are. Tina said something about going to know the laws. Wherever you are, it doesn't matter if you're in Nigeria, out of Nigeria, wherever you are, find out what you can do right now to make sure that you're not that same person that you were on the 20th of October 2020. Make sure that you're a bigger person, a better person, a person that even you yourself did not know that you were going to evolve into. Make sure that you become better. Because the truth is, before 2023, election day 2023, that is a date that all of these leaders will reckon with. And make sure that you're able to be someone that has walked up to that moment. Like, I don't know how people are thinking of 2023 as a year that Nigeria really drops all this nonsense. All these leaders. Me, I have made it in my own heart that these leaders will not go past this. They will not. You cannot. I don't care who you are or how big you are or whatever year you are. You cannot take people's lives in a very dishonorable way and then expect that you're going to make it through to the next election period and vote and do whatever and live your life. I don't know how people are thinking about this whole thing. I just feel like as a young person, wherever you are and wherever you are, we have to start a silent protest. Let them do what they want to do. Right now, we should focus on who we want to be. Become somebody that will evolve into a person. If they want to call it a monster, now they call us looters, hoodlums, all kinds of things. Make sure you're the baddest hoodlum in 2023 election.
Yeah, I think, like what we all said, So, like what Tenny said, like, people coming out, if you don't know your rights, it's even like an opportunity for the leaders or like, your oppressor to, is happy that this person doesn't know their rights, so they can tell you what to do, what not to do, continue oppressing you, understand? But it will never last as long as you know your rights. Okay, another major thing I want to add is, okay, like generally, like what Tina said, to like educating the people. Okay, like the kind of political climate Nigeria is right now, I think people don't really understand what politics is supposed to produce, understand? You're supposed to like be accountable to your people. Okay, like Nigerians don't hold their leaders accountable. You understand? So we need to educate the people to like make sure the people we are sending out to represent us, like they are accountable to us and stuff like that. And also, we've come to realize that the biggest threat, like I said, is the leaders. These Kola Nut generation people, these same Kai, kind of people, taking too much drugs. Some of them are drug dealers, understand? Like imagine Tinubu coming out to say,
like I was like you.
Yeah, you can tell. You can tell the man is high on cocaine or some drugs. When somebody's coming out to say, you have bullion vans of cash that you can give out to people during election to like buy votes and stuff, and you're coming out to Nigeria that you're the leader of democracy. Imagine those kind of leaders we have. So if these people we call families, some of them have the education that this is not what democracy is. This is undemocratic. This is unjust. It's totally anachronistic. You understand? So when Nigerians voted Buhari, the idea was like he lied to them. Like we're going to make the economy better. We're going to make everything we're going to fight corruption, but looking from the way things are going, we all understand things are worse. And Buhari is the biggest threat because his quietness at the moment, you can tell how long it took him to even come out to give that 12 minutes nonsense that he spewed, you understand, without even giving some, saying anything about the massacre. He's not even remorseful. In fact, like when Sanwo-Olu, the confused governor of Lagos was trying to present the demands of the people to him, the guy was laughing. There is this wicked laugh that he laughed, like he was laughing, you understand? So imagine that those kind of leaders that you have that are like adamant, they're still doing these crude or old school military, we're going to criminalize protests, we're going to send thugs to confuse you guys and make it look like you guys are the ones, causing disruption. Those thugs are state-sponsored thugs, you understand? Like, you could tell, like, from the videos we've all been seeing, like, thugs coming out from government SUVs. Like, government
to be speaking them up.
Yeah, like government telling them where to go attack people, you understand? So government is trying to criminalize protests and trying to cause fear among the people. But if the people are like smart enough, even these so-called thugs that they're using, if they have the education that, at some point they'll start attacking them, you understand? And that's where the revolution starts. Because when an angry man starts his own revolution, it won't be like somebody, sitting somewhere. So they'll start attacking people. And also another major thing is without electoral reform, we'll keep electing and recycling these knuckleheads that we have in power, understand? Like imagine somebody like Atiku coming back. So we don't have youth, you understand? So like one thing is that these people need to be speaking up. You know, you don't have to wait till 2023 election day, then you start coming out to give motivational speech. Start to grassroots, make a campaign, like start mobilizing and strategize up till the election time. Don't come out like few weeks to election, be giving motivational speech. You don't have anything. These people are wicked. They've been there forever. So you don't think you can create a structure within just one day and think, oh, Nigerians will support me and be speaking exotic grammar. Nigerians don't even listen to grammar, understand? So we need an electoral reform, and we also need to pressure, because our voice needs to be heard, understand? If police that's guarding you he understands what's up, and okay, he's even protesting, like what happened in America at some point, like some police were protesting. So we have to pressure them to make electoral reform where we can't be spending billions of naira on Nigeria and we are still writing results on paper. That's why we keep recycling these people, you understand? Yeah. So we need to like digitalize some things like electronic voting and stuff. It's only Nigeria that we spend billions of naira and people are like busy stealing money, and these people will keep electing these same sets of leaders, but if we can pressure them, like what ENDSARS is doing and all this kind of stuff, we can pressure them to like make electoral reform where we can change our voting system, where we you can't have a perfect system, but at least the margin of error. So at least we'll have like a reasonable kind of voting system where people will not be like even worried to go and vote. Some people are scared to vote because even this government thought sometimes it is. So at the end of the day, we end up voting in this same set of agbada wearing leaders. Understand? Exactly. Like for instance, Tinubu in Lagos State, the guy just hijacked the whole state. Like nothing is happening in Lagos State that that would not go under Tinubu. Same way this Desmond Elliott guy that use social media. At some point social media helped him to gain wherever he is right now. But because he has to please his godfather Tinubu, yes, these people. So you can kind of imagine the kind of youth we have in Nigeria, where it's not only the old people, but because of the system you have to go through to get that position, you have to be bootlicker, you have to be serving those people and something like that. So what he's doing is not to the people, but to please his godfather Tinubu. So that's the problem. So electoral reform and educating the people on what we feel like politics is supposed to produce. Our old people in the market, not just collect 100 naira or 1,000 naira to disenfranchise. Somebody to disenfranchise you like just 1,000 naira like that. It's worth more than that.
So I just want to. What's that? Oh, Tina, before you say that, please let me just say something. So based on what Teddy said and you said, I just want to add something. So Teddy said, this is the right time for everybody to start, acting. And honestly speaking, this is the reason why I started this episode on my podcast, because I feel like there is no way I can speak up than on this platform. 2023 election. My goal is to go to Nigeria and vote. Like before my goal with this platform here before 2023 election is I want this to be heavy that is affecting the government. And we here we can do it. We're untouchable.
Sure.
You get right? If we're waiting for people in Nigeria to do it, they can't, because literally if they do it, they get killed.
Exactly.
It's that easy. So like if you're a Nigerian and you're listening to this episode, like you're listening to this episode and you are here and you just feel like it's not affecting you and you are good, and let me tell you, man, it will affect you someday. It will affect you, and it's not just about talking, like it's about taking actions. I was at a point where it's like I'm not doing this for money. You get right?
Yeah.
But I am doing it because people should hear what is going on in my country, my beloved country. I have a friend that when I told him what's happening in Nigeria, he couldn't believe it. And people don't know what's happening in Nigeria. We only we Nigerians know.
Yeah.
And it's high time for us to speak up. Speak up, condemn all the nonsense thing the government of Nigeria is doing. Even if it means, you speak too much and then like, okay, Trump is like, okay, come and leave our country and go back. See, it has to happen because for you, like, you do it. See, man, like honestly, this is a new generation.
Sure.
This is our new generation. 2020 election is coming, and I believe it's going to be a great election. But it has to start from here. Imagine like this is 2020, 3 years from now. If we keep hitting this. If we keep hitting this same spot in 3 years, something will definitely break. Yeah, something will definitely come out of it. So, you know, if you listen to this podcast or, you know, you're a Nigerian out there and please, in any shape or form, your career, anything you want to use to speak up for the injustice and bad government in Nigeria, please, fucking do.
Yeah, oh yeah, just as you were talking and I came into my head.
Yeah,
When
okay.
you said going to Nigeria and voting, right?
Yeah.
I was thinking like maybe you guys they should invite like some of these international body medias to go to some voting grounds with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing.
Yeah,
To make
2023.
Yeah, 2023 to make it more transparent. The dealings.
Yes.
There should be like a live, like a video
live. I'm telling you.
Right, there should be like it, and there should be international bodies. Because then I feel like our government, since they don't care about international, but they don't want to kill them and cause hassle.
Yeah.
So at least when they are there,
They respect themselves. Yeah.
Let's just so that was the idea, but back to what I was going to say.
But that idea is a great idea.
Yeah.
And people that are listening, please, Tina said something about UN or international bodies. If it means you going to join UN right now, please do it because we will need you when that time comes. For real.
Yeah.
For real. It's 3 years from now. If it means you joining the military, if it means you joining something that 3 years from now, you know that you could actually, because we need people that will go with us to that place. We don't just, sorry to cut you short, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what he was saying. So most times, I read something on social media. The guy said, I don't know if it's a guy or a girl, but they said the government they're so bold with what they're doing right now. Like they're so bold, posting whatever they post. You know why? Because of people who vote for them are not using social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are those moms and dads with their and all these things and they buy the votes.
Yeah.
So in case we're educated, we need to educate these ones too because they are the ones selling their votes.
Yeah.
And most times those people they've lived their years, not like they've lived, but they're felt like they've given up because soon they will die. So they don't. But when we educate these people about the youth, our future, like our suffering, we want better life. Like it's your mother, is your dad, is your dad. You can talk to them and they'll feel for you because they want better for you.
Yeah.
And therefore they want better for Nigeria. So educate them, speak to them. You can start now just by talking to them and everything. Ask them if they're happy being sold like one bag of gari for 4 years of their life or their children's life. Just make a very good scenario to just like try and convince them and try to make them see things and make sure you're talking to them about you, not just about the country as a whole or the country because they care about you, but not so much about the country because they are being raised. So they care about their children, they want the best for them.
That's true.
So educate them concerning you and how you want to be better in that country. And also another thing I wanted to talk about was that
I'm sorry.
okay, but I wanted to say something. So yes, we in Nigeria, we're pretty diverse, right? Different. We want the best for each of our local governments or where we're coming from, constituencies. Yeah, we want the best for ourselves. But then at the same time, there could be tension. That's another way government used to come. Like it comes as a strategy for them. They try to cause like confusion, division and confusion. So another thing is the youth bodies that we're trying to form now. It shouldn't be something that's not solid on the ground. It should be solid. And when it means solid, it's more like if it means writing things down, if it means putting a lawyer there, if it means everybody talking what they want out of it. Because at the end of the day, we want a good Nigeria, but we too want better for our own people. And we want better for Nigeria as a whole. So it's more like you coming out, the Northerners, funny fact was that when Nigeria got their independence, right?
Yeah.
It was more of the Easterners and the Westerners that were pushing for it, right? And the Northerners didn't want it because they were already ruling. The Britain was already. But then they had to join forces because of the Westerners and Easterners sold their own rights. They were like, okay, if you join us, you will rule. Like, you still be able to rule. Like, percentage, that's why you see lots of Northerners still ruling. Because of they sold that thing and said, like, okay, you will just join us and get our independence. They wanted it so bad, but the Northerners didn't do it. So that thing, the Northerners now have so much privileges to rule the country, and they feel like they have nothing, but they are the one controlling everything, that kind of thing. So another thing is, that's why I feel like we, the youth, we should clash, we should kill that tension between tribes and Easterners, Westerners, and all those things. Kill that thing. And the only way we kill it is not by avoiding it, but talking about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk. Like, even the Northerners, let's talk about the Northerners. Let's invite the Northerners and say, okay, what is it? Like, why don't you support us? Why are you always against us? Because even now, with this whole SARS in the world, they were protesting anti-SARS. And they were fighting against us. And I get that, but they may be going through the other herdsmen and others, but SARS, they not treat them like that. They will kill SARS 247. They don't even look at their face. Now, Islam, they will burn down their police station. So I guess they are not having those problems. That's right. But they're having other problems. But that's the thing. We want to be united. We want everybody to come along. So now we have to discuss about what's causing tension between us. Like, why are we always fighting? Why are we not visiting together for a better Nigeria? Are you guys happy that you guys do not have good education? You guys are just wearing cow all your life and then enter military and try to come to politics. Like, you getting married to so many, you people dying, family doing, that's all you do, and all that. Other people cannot even come to your own side, the Northerners, because you guys will kill them or you guys are something. So we need to discuss these issues, put them on the table, talk to them. And then another thing again about the youth body is that we need to build a strong constitution. I don't use constitution though, but more like a strong law guiding us as a body, like check and balance. Has to go on with the youth because we can get easily misled. Because sometimes we may be doing this for a good cause, but bad edge might be there. And if we don't fish out that bad edge because of check and balances, it might end up eating half of the whole thing and making it look bad again. And another thing we should watch out for as we, during this protest, the Nigerians, they never really had a budget, but they were feeding daily. They were eating large. So that's what we should do. Don't take money from any politicians because of their agenda is to use us so that they can be godfather over us, for us to be figurehead again. So now we should cut off those things. Transparency, where the incomes are coming from. If any politicians, I already said it, if I ever get a foundation in Nigeria or do anything in Nigeria, I don't want any money from politicians. And if you are giving me money, I'll write a claim back. I say you're giving me money, it's not for me to help you anything tomorrow. If you agree, I'll take your money. If you don't agree, carry out your money. And in the future, if you use me to protest, I'll carry out your money and give you, take your money. Don't come and name again in the protest. That kind of thing. Transparency, there should be a line. Don't cross the line. It's more like that. So we should not receive money for politicians because we know they are always strategizing, trying to use us in the future again, trying to come over our back again, and they will be loyal to them again. That's why you see the young people in politics today, they are still lording over them. So they cannot really say much, like the small elements and the others. They cannot really say much. And the other thing right now is that if those people are not your godfather, you cannot get position in the country right now. So a lot of people, it's through the pressure, through the difficulty, they will not be like, okay, this guy wants to use me to do it, but let me just go now. From there, it will make me a senator. And then from there, when you get there, you cannot do anything but to obey, because it will kill you straight up, or you won't remove it. Another thing, we don't even our Senate, our House of Rep, everything we have to set those people go. Imagine a president has been acting a president has been acting the way he's acting, no impeachment, nobody's even talking about it. They are not talking about the money they want to receive. They are not even checking the government to see why are you borrowing money from China, and why China is in this country as if their own part of the country. Like they not have privileges, more like I see China people or Indonesia or wherever, they were not enslaving Nigeria again. Like, is that even like me? They will come. And then they will make Nigerians go and pick gold for them. And then they will pay Nigeria. Some of them even lock up Nigeria in their own way as to make Nigerians work during this whole time. And yet, no transparency in those cases. So it's just a level of everything is going on. So we need to check these people out. The Senate, so we're not just coming like we're looking for a governor or president, we're looking for Senate too, we're looking for educational aid, we're looking for everything.
we have to read the system, like get these bad eggs away and come and rule and stay and build. Or like that.
Let me just add something real quick to that. It reminds me of like when you look at like the civil rights movement in America, then you notice like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, they were fighting for the same thing because they were fighting the same enemy. Like there was this coalition.
Right.
It wasn't like a coalition, but a coalition.
Right.
Because these guys are not attacking you like they're not attacking you because you are Muslim or because you're a Christian, because you are Spanish. They're attacking you because you're black or whatever, right? So these people came together because they understand their enemy, understand? So Nigerians can't afford to be thinking like, oh, because you're Niger Delta, or because these politicians don't look at that like they mess up the whole place. They don't look at you like you're a Muslim or you're Ijo or you're Hausa. So we have to come together with the mindset that we're fighting a common enemy. That's the only way we can shun individualism and like some ethnic coalition and stuff.
And so before Tenny says anything, look, at the end of this episode, okay, all four of us here, I want us to be able to decide how we can affect 2023 election. Because there has to be a president. The president has to come out from us. You get, because if we don't have a president, who do we elect? You get, right? We have 3 years to go. You get, right? This is the time for us to say, okay, I want to affect Nigeria in this way and go and work on yourself. Because when we get to 2023, we need to have all these people in place.
Right.
Because right now we're saying it, but it's just like, oh, we want, like you said, you see a lot of beautiful things there. You get, right? But who do we use? You get. And I know as Rufus, I know Tenny, I know you, we are all, why I brought all of us here together is we are all people that are passionate about Nigeria. We want to affect Nigeria. And my own thing is, as we live here, whatever way we think we can affect Nigeria, let us start working on it. Because come 2023 election, if we are ready, we'll take it. But if we are not ready, we'll pick anybody that is there. So, Tenny, I'm sorry for all this, but I just wanted to say that you can say, come. Say something.
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Everybody should really know what they want to do. Oh yeah, and then, like I said earlier, go to the UN. That's easy. It's the easiest way out, except you already know what you want to do for Nigeria. But then go to the UN website. You see the 17 SDGs. Figure out one thing that Nigeria is suffering from, and then use that thing. Work it. If you don't know exactly what you want to do, figure out one that you like that you want to pursue. Pursue that for Nigeria and make sure that sticks in Nigeria. And like Lucky said, we do need to find someone out of our group, because if we're working on ourselves, we'll definitely find a president-worthy person or a snake-worthy person. Because by 2023, all these people that we're seeing today, they will no longer be there. And we need to fill that all those offices with the good eggs. And so if we're not ready for that moment, how would we be able to move on? We'll just go back to
being Buhari or whoever that wants to come.
Whoever comes out to say, I want to be, they want to be. So yeah, that's really I wanted to say.
So I just want to make a quick summation. Hopefully it's not going to be an artist.
No, let it be. Let it be.
So, like, for me, like, the choice is between Nigerians. We have the global community of neglect, you understand? There is serious wars going on in Congo, Central Africa Republic, wars ravaging communities, and it's children, like, beast of no nation, like kids are carrying guns, they are recruiting them as soldiers. What is the international community doing concerning that, you understand? So while it's okay, we need to pressure the international community to like make sure they're doing something, not just we are watching the situation in Nigeria, blah blah blah. And these guys will come with their overbloated tummy and agbada and come here to relax. And you guys are not transparent too, because you help them hold the money. All this Panama, Switzerland, and all this stuff. And you guys will come together with your suit and your agbada and you start to discuss Vision 2020 and all this other stuff. So we need to find a way, like Tenny said, all this kind of stuff. But for me, the major issue is leadership. If you have a bad head, like it's going to affect everybody. So 2023, Nigerians need to come out and like fish out these knuckleheads. Like, that's the only way out. Because imagine just fuel price, hike in fuel price, and Nigerians came out in mass like during Jonathan's tenure, and now we have to wait till people like start dying before people come out and expressing their anger. Understand? Buhari is like, he doesn't have like regard for even international law. I mean, so many people have written Buhari, Sarah, like, you know, concerned Nigerians, they're taking him to international court. He has no regard.
Right.
Like, the guy has no regard for international community or justice or anything. He will just do whatever he feels like is okay. So Nigerians have to shun these ethnic politics. There are some people that don't see anything wrong in what's going on in the government because they are attached to like exactly because of ethnic attachments and stuff.
Right.
There are so many educated Nigerians. That's why sometimes you wonder, is education, but at the same time, when you see some people, so-called educated people, you know, with their PhDs, lecturers, and they start talking, and you start to wonder, like, what's really the problem? You understand? It's just ethnicity. It's from my person mentality. That's what is killing us. So we need to find a way to like remove these people, and Buhari, you just have to remove that guy because for me. I don't care, for me personally, if it's another northern person. Yeah, I'm not like, you know, like America, America, who was that old guy from Vermont? You know, people didn't, people were thinking because he's from Vermont, they will vote for him.
I know, like,
it's
what
you have to offer.
Right.
Understand? Like, and your track record, what's your CV, what's your resume?
Right.
You know, so you can't just vote for somebody because this person is Ijo or whatever. And so Nigerians have to shun all those, and that's where the education comes. You know, what has this person done for you? Can you tell me one thing this person has done for you? Or rather than tell you make $1, 1 naira, like, I mean, what else has he done? He did that by making Nigeria the world poverty capital. Like, we tried to surpass India, understand? We have unreliable power supply in Nigeria that have been, you know, we've been suffering all these things for years. And these people come, the Abuja politicians, they stay in Abuja, then few days to election, they come to the streets, like Dino Melai selling granite on the road and stuff. They come to collect your votes. You understand? Yeah. And they go back to Abuja to waste all the money they stole. While you are in the village, in one crowded hood like this, without any blink of hope, you understand? No. So Nigerians have to come out to, like, you know, vote these people out. That's the only way out. Because for me personally, I can't even imagine Nigerians coming back to Buhari. Like, come on, guys. I don't understand, like, how we ended up with this guy. And I still don't get it. You understand? Imagine so-called even religious leaders, understand? Even canvassing support for somebody like this. That's why the neglect is so much that we have ecclesiastic neglect in terms of like the religious community. There is so much neglect. Some leaders even discourage you for even speaking out, like some so-called religious in churches too. Like some churches are just like quiet
about this whole thing.
Like, you know, while we're speaking here, we're not in America. We can choose not to say, anyway, I'm not in Nigeria. Okay, but we have families in Nigeria. You understand? Like, we have brothers. We have everything is back, so we're concerned. So I don't see any reason why any church or anybody should feel like it doesn't really affect them.
Yeah.
Because those members of the church, some of them are politicians. They are all like, we're all concerned in one way or the other. So we need to shun this whole neglect issue where people feel like they're not concerned and stuff. Like what can I say? The more we keep talking about it, you know, the more awareness it creates, and the more woke people will be.
Yeah. Let me just add nothing to what you just said.
Okay.
You know, there's another saying that if you're quiet while other people are being oppressed, then you are not the oppressed.
True.
So don't be quiet. Don't be nonchalant about the whole thing. It doesn't matter if any of your family members have been affected or not. Just, you've seen it. Don't pretend. You've seen it. You might not experience it. You've seen it. You've heard it. So just try and support the people who have gotten scars from those things that has been happening. Oh, another thing I wanted to say is there's this the church must vote. Funny thing, the last election, I was trying to follow these people because I wanted to vote. I wanted to see how I could vote from here so bad.
Yeah.
And I was trying to join them. And funny thing, they went to Winners Church, and even Bishop was not talking to them and not saying that, oh, all the youth should vote, and these are the people they are. I don't know who they are, but I saw like a presentation they did in Winners Church, so I looked at them on Instagram, and I think I even sent them an email, but I didn't get any response. But yeah, I tried to vote while in this country. I wanted to vote, and even that year there was a lot of death in Nigeria during the election. Like so many youths died, they lost their life. Even the NYC people who were supposed to support INEC, a lot of them were killed and just treated anyhow. No accountability in the country. We move. They are just moving every day is a day. So it's crazy, but yeah, we need to stop these things. These people life matters. Your life matters. Yesterday might be a neighbor or someone you know. Tomorrow might be you. So you never know. So always try to shun those things that are happening behind you. Call those things out the bad. When you do not call them out, you're part of it. Ignorance is not an excuse. Thank you.
Telling you.
So what I want to say, or the last thing I want to say is that Rufus was saying how it's not about Yoruba or Ijo or anything. It's really about one goal, the enemy. So I just want to make sure that we understand what the enemy really is.
Yeah.
From the onset or from inception, from the day that I was born, I have sensed that Nigeria has not had my best interest in heart. They've not had like the young person's best interest at heart. If you're a young person, you go to school, the worst schools ever. There is no good curriculum for your studies in Nigeria. We learn about British people. We don't learn about our country. We don't know about our leaders. We study governments. But we learn about the constitution that white people created. We don't learn about our own constitution. We learn about trash from UK, British, all sorts of things. I know so much from my own secondary education. I know so much about outside countries than I do about my own country. I learned about Africa itself when I came out of Nigeria.
Yeah, problem.
I learned about my own continent itself. I can tell you where countries are on a map. I don't know about my continent, how to tell you countries are on my own continent. I know about other continents. That's how bad my country is, or that's how bad our nations are in Africa. So we need to understand that Nigeria has not had a young person's interest at heart. They've had the interest of people that are over 60. They have had the interest of people that are interested in oil outside of Nigeria. In fact, outside of Africa, people that want to do business, they have those interests. So if you know that you want to get somebody's interest, these people that their interest, you want to get their interest, you have to stand up. You cannot sit as a young person anymore. From childhood, they made us understand that we're not children. I don't know where many people grew up, but then where I grew up, if you're a child, you get to a point where you begin to see all kinds of things, and people expect that you grow up with those sort of things. You see how somebody rapes somebody, and you see dead people, you see all kinds of things, and these are the things that make you a human being. This is how this is the idea of you maturing into a big person. So this is what we need to stand for. The fact that a child should remain a child in Nigeria, the fact that the nation should provide a lifestyle for a young person in Nigeria, the fact that a young person does not have to die at 18, at 19, at 32. They should live up to the standard or to the level that they ought to live, and make a good amount of a good amount of contribution to the nation. You cannot kill 18-year-old people, just kill so many people at 18, at 19, at 20, and then expect that Nigeria will be a better place when young people don't grow to become old. If we have old people from 1960, there is no way Nigeria can continue to grow. We have way good amount of young people right now, and we need to preserve them. So Nigeria has to change to be able to protect these young people, because that is more than half of our population.
Yeah. So
the fights that we're fighting right now is that we need a country that takes a good amount of care for more than half of its people. At least, we know that there are other nations that cares for every single person. We're asking for at least more than half of the nation to care for us. That's all. That's the fight. It's not about you being black, white, blue, green. It's about you being a young person, and you need your country to care for you. If you're holding that green passport, you need some form of protection.
okay. So
Can I say something real quick?
yeah, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, what Tenny just said is, it's not just care for more than half of the people. It's more like care for the poor.
because where she's coming from is basically like the poor, like the middle class and down. Because yeah, we might be saying that we didn't have like good education and other things, we have to see other things, whereas the rich people, they can fly their kids outside. They're schooled outside, they know everything, they know what they should know, and they come back to the country and get a good job. Whereas the other people, and then that brings me back to public schools, which is still responsibility of the government. Public schools, they are not doing enough, because that's where she's coming from the not good education. What they are teaching them is international things instead of things in a country and all those things. And yeah, public schools, public everything needs to be fixed.
Yeah. Okay. So with that said, we're going to bring this episode to an end. Something really that I wanted us to talk about too. Rufus made mention of it. It was about the pastors that we have in our country, Nigeria. Honestly, like, you see, Tenny said something that it's only God that can save us right now. And I can't realize, I don't know why Tenny can realize that pastors cannot even see that yet. That if God can save us, that this is where pastors come into play, because yeah, we should be praying. Like, we should be fasting and praying for Nigeria. Like I expect, see, the least I expect, honestly, Nigerians have the most powerful pastors in this world. Nigerians have the wealthiest pastors in this world. It is not God that came down and gave them money. It is their members. See, no disrespect to any pastor that is listening to this podcast or that. I'm not even disrespecting any pastor. But if you are a pastor out there and you have not spoken about this thing, like you are sitting where you are because it's not affecting you. See, God loves everybody. God does not want any Nigerian to die. And as a pastor, it is what we are supposed to, like, pastors, like literally, even if you can't come out and protest, we should be holding like prayer session for Nigeria. Because these men are evil. Like, these men are evil. We know it. But either one way we are getting favor from the country, so we don't want to get ourselves involved with Nigerian politics. But we'll leave that for God. God is watching all of us. Yeah, but with that said, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you for listening to this audio. We'll be back next week, same time, same place. But before we leave, guys, 2023 election is coming up. 3 years from now, give yourself a goal. What can you do to help Nigeria in 2023 election? And go out there, fucking do it.
Yeah. I think it has been an narration section.
yeah. So thank you so much, guys. Stay blessed.
Thank you.
Peace.
Out of the room.
Okay.